welcome back to another edition of the Waiver Report. What a crazy week we witnessed with tons of pickups, but it also seemed almost every day news of a trade was broken. I don't have anything to add on most of those trades since we've been discussing them all week in the group me, but there is one trade I'll be commenting on. Stay tuned for that. There's also some other things I'm going to touch on, so this is going to be more of a week report than just a waiver report. So the big acquisition of the week was Orleans Darkwa. Schwartzy was a high roller for the third time in the season, placing $27 down to obtain the Giants running back. While he did look really good against the best defense in the league, we all know how shitty that Giants O-line is. So it'll be interesting to see if Sunday night was a fluke or not. Biggest winner this week goes to Kevin for finally figuring out how to place a bid. Up until this point, Kevin had placed almost 20 bids for a total of $0. But this week, Kevin put in the extra research, deleted that zero from the waiver bid bar, and put $12 down on Dion Lewis. With Kevin now placing bids, it adds a whole new dimension to his team and makes every week more interesting, as every team now knows he's competing with 11 other players for waiver acquisitions instead of just 10. Biggest loser goes to me. I have Phillip Rivers versus the Broncos this week, so I knew I needed another quarterback, but my dumbass went out Tuesday night and completely forgot to place a $1 bid down on Carson Palmer, which would have been enough to get him since Singer picked him up for free. Now I'm stuck playing Derek Carr against the Chiefs. He says he's fully healed, but who knows? It's something to watch for, along with these two other things. I'm curious to see the lineup changes that two of the fake IDs make. The first being Plimmer. With Devontae Parker still not practicing, Plimmer is forced to throw Amari Cooper back into his starting lineup. But how much longer can he afford to do this? Does he keep him on the team in hopes that eventually he discovers his top 15 potential? Or does he ship him out of town while he still can get some value back before he reaches the point of being drop-worthy, which is approaching very quickly? The other team I'm interested in is Cash. With CJ Anderson now gone, Cash is in a spot where he either keeps getting disappointed by Marshawn Lynch or he puts his job on the line and upgrades Derrick Henry to a starting role. The fans are already furious with the recent trade, so a move like this could be a job saver or a job destroyer. The coach did come out and say he likes what he sees from Derrick Henry, but then again, coaches say a lot of bullshit to the media. On the topic of Cash, though, he had the most votes for being trade raped. But that poll was made before we knew of another trade that would shake the fantasy community to its core.
One big thing.
Since the first day a quarterback put his hands under another man's balls, it's been acknowledged that football is a system sport. It's why the Patriots dynasty has lasted for almost 2 decades. Belichick brings players in that he thinks fits the system, and if they do, they get to stay. And if they don't, and they put themselves before the team, they're gone. But there are some teams that have a system that doesn't quite work for anyone. We think the Browns always fuck up in the draft. But is it that they picked the wrong guy, or that no matter who they picked, Cleveland would soon destroy their career? Think about it. Would Deshaun Kaiser look this bad if he was drafted by the Texans? Or would Carson Wentz be tearing up the league if he was a quarterback in Cleveland? We'll never know, but it's hard to believe a team can just get unlucky with who they draft year in and year out. But just like real football, fantasy football follows similar rules. While a player might look horrible on one squad, he can shine on another. This has never been more evident than with the case of Hunter Henry. We saw multiple weeks where Henry refused to even run a route. But the second he was cut, he turned into one of the better tight ends in the league and leads his team in receiving since that time. Recently, we witnessed why players might hate to play for this same owner. After starting 1-5, the DeChambeau fanbase still had a lot of hope since there was still plenty of talent on the team. The players would trade off weeks if they performed well. It just hadn't all clicked at once yet, but the rest of the league felt it could soon happen. Then, inexplicably, the front office felt some desperate need to fill a hole at the tight end position, arguably the least important position in fantasy. We've seen plenty of debacles from this organization, but we've never seen and never believed a front office and the Iowa City Phi Association could fuck up this miserably. When he went to get a tight end, Bryson decided to throw his first round pick on the trading block. AJ Green, a man capable of going off for 30 points any week, was traded in part of a trade to obtain Delanie Walker. There are two tight ends that you place your best player in the line for, and that's Gronk and Travis Kelce, the only two tight ends that are capable of blowing up for a 25-point week any week. I have Zach Ertz, and even I can admit he's not worth throwing your crown jewel for. Sure, he's the second best tight end right now, but that means he's averaging only 6 to 8 more points a game than the guys on the waiver wire. Congratulations, Wilson, on getting those 7 extra points. But guess what? You lost your best fucking player, you moron. A guy that is worth well over 7 measly points. As Verde so eloquently stated yesterday, they say the team that got the best player won the trade, and that's true here. Yes, there are more pieces involved. This wasn't just Delanie Walker for AJ Green, but some of the other pieces involved won't even be part of the starting lineup every week. And you know what else you gave up to get those decent players? Your second best fucking player. You were so desperate for a guy who's maybe going to get over 20 points once a season that you gave up 2 players that have already gone over 20 points 3 times combined. And somehow, in your mind, you saw a fair trade, and actually, you probably think you won the trade. Not only do you own an explanation to your fan base, but you owe an apology to the entire league. How is it fun to have a guy in the league that's just a free trade rate? I can give up a bench player and somehow get a first-round pick in return? How can this league expect to gain any respect? How can they expect to gain any respect when we have owners pulling this type of bullshit? We're all left today walking around with a feeling of disgust and embarrassment, just praying this front office has some sort of vision for the future. But as of right now, it's hard to have any confidence that that vision will lead to success.